Not sure I need to introduce Didier Deschamps. So we will start directly with questions. Yeah, in the middle here. Second row. No, second row here. Go down. Thank you. Go ahead, in the middle. Oui, pour Dominique.
For Dominique. Good morning, Dominique 5, Parisien. How do you feel? And how about those who've been sick in the preparation for this match? Has it disturbed your preparation? Well, thanks for asking about my health. I'm absolutely fine. And as for the players, I left quite early this morning from the camp, so they were all still asleep. So I haven't had any recent updates. And we are trying to manage this situation as well as we can, and remain calm and focused. I'll get some more information today, and I'll think about that tonight and even tomorrow. And of course, we're looking forward to being ready for this important game.
Bonjour Didier, Vincent.
Good morning, Vincent Deluc, l'équipe. Since the beginning of this tournament, a lot has happened to your team. There's been quite a few injuries. Now, some of you are sick. Everyone seems to be hoping that Lionel Messi wins this World Cup. Do you sometimes get the feeling that you're alone in the world and no one else wants you to win? I often get that feeling, but I'm fine being alone. That doesn't bother me. And these uncertainties always arise. Of course, we are here and we've done everything we can to be well prepared for tomorrow's game against Argentina. Lionel Scaloni, the Argentina coach, has always had some challenges, has also had some challenges as well. They lost their first match against Saudi Arabia, of course. But they're still here. And like us, we haven't had to face everybody in this tournament, but in the games that we've played, we've managed to come out victors. So I don't have any particular worries or stress about tomorrow's game. I think when you prepare for a game like this, you need to keep your focus, remain composed. But of course, in a final, a World Cup final, especially, you have the match, but you also have a whole context behind that. And of course, the objective is to come out with the title. I know that Argentina and many people around the world, and perhaps some French people as well, would hope that Lionel Messi can win the World Cup. But we're going to do everything to achieve our objective. Good morning. On your left, Nicolas Georgerot, RTL. You've already said that in Euro 2016 that your approach wasn't always the right one, and that in the World Cup 2018 you were much better. And now, do you think you need to bring something else to the table in this final tomorrow? Particularly young players, perhaps? Well, I've just said that for a final, you always need to prepare slightly differently because you have certain emotions that can affect different players differently. I would have said, yes, in 2016, it wasn't perfect. Of course, you can tell that from the results. But then in 2018, things were much better, and the players who were there did a tremendous job. And when it's the first final for a player, then that player doesn't know what to expect. And when you've had the opportunity and the privilege of playing a number of finals, then of course that helps. But it doesn't necessarily mean that because it's your first final, you can't deal with those emotions well. Of course, it is all about dealing with your emotions. And in my team talk and in my discussions with players, I always bear in mind that every player is different. Good morning, Ludovic, Infosport Canal. What do you think about this Argentina team and its performances, and how do they differ from the Argentina team you faced 4 years ago? I think 7 players were present in 2018 in the Argentina squad. So no, it's not the same team at all. So there's no point comparing this team with the team 4 years ago. It was a round of 16 match, and the players were totally different. The team lineups are different. The style and game plans are different. But yes, our experience helps us. Jorge Alcocer, Jean-Luc Vanucci, and Lionel Boissel were also with the technical team, and they've been observing, analyzing Argentina's games. So they've given us some very precise information. But of course, Argentina could line up differently tomorrow. There's nothing to stop them doing that. And we could too. The same goes for us. Look at Morocco, for example. In the semi-final, they started the match with a 5-man defense, which they'd never done before in the tournament. So you need to be ready for any scenario. Good morning, TV Norway. Over here. Kylian Mbappe doesn't speak very often with the media and hasn't been since the outset of this World Cup. How do you see that strategy of his, and how do you sense his mindset since the beginning of the World Cup? Well, he has spoken to the media. On certain occasions, he has spoken with the media, and he also needs to remain calm and focused, and focus on what he can bring to the team on the pitch. So I think his mindset is very positive. Before the World Cup, that was true, and since he's been here, since the beginning of our time here, he has been extremely focused, and I've no interest in trying to bother him or try to upset that focus, and he's concentrated on the match tomorrow. Antoine Manier, AFP, over here. Coming back to the virus that's hitting the camp, what specific precautions are you taking on a daily basis? And aren't you afraid that other players might also be infected, and that might spoil this World Cup final entirely for you? I don't want to go into the details. I know it's a subject that is of interest to you, and I fully understand that, but we're doing our best to take precautions and adapt as necessary. We're trying to live with it without going too far, getting too carried away, but doing what is necessary. Of course, we would have preferred not to have to face this difficulty, but we're managing it as well as we can with our medical staff and their support, of course. Good morning, Baptiste Després, Figaro. In an interview a few months ago, you said that ideally you would like to stay 10 years more as a French coach. Is that still true today? And will the result of tomorrow's game have an impact on your decision? Well, what have I said? I don't know what I can say, really. Being France manager has always been the most wonderful thing that has happened to me in my career. Already as a player, I played for France, and that was a wonderful achievement. And now to be coach for so long has been a tremendous opportunity, and I'm still as passionate about it as I was when I began. And I'm delighted to be France coach. But the most important thing is always the team. It's not me. And I'm at the service of the team, and I have been for 10 years, and I'll be focusing on that tomorrow as well. It's all about the team, not me. I'm not the most important person here. Thank you for thinking about me. Thank you for asking the question. But no, it won't depend necessarily on tomorrow's result. That's not what I'm thinking about, and I'm not even thinking about what's going to happen after tomorrow's game. At the moment, I'm just focusing on doing everything we can to make sure we win the World Cup.
Daniel Mundin from Global Brazil, I'll ask in English. Are you surprised that Karim Benzema have played friendly on Thursday, and do you count on him to come here and support the group? I know you don't consider him available for the match, but do you count on him to come here to Qatar and support the group, be with the group, and celebrate a possible title, the final?
Vous passez le mot entre les journalistes.
Well, among journalists, you must know that I don't like to reply to this particular question. I know that some players have been injured, and Karim Benzema is, of course, one of those. Since the beginning of the World Cup, he's been injured. And Lucas Hernandez got injured in the first game. And from that point onwards, I've got 24 players in my squad. And you know who those players are. They're the players at my disposal. So I don't think it's fair to those players to ask about players who aren't here. And it's not up to me to decide who comes to watch the game, former players or injured players. It's really not up to me. I don't know who's coming to watch or support the team. I focus on my squad and the players at my disposal. We've lost 3 players. Christopher Nkunku also got injured right at the beginning, and Karim Benzema and Lucas Hernandez. And so I lost those players from my squad, even though they were in the squad to begin with. So now I'm focusing on my 24-man squad, and those will be the players who I will have at my disposal to face Argentina tomorrow.
Good morning, Said Jude. I'll be asking in Arabic. I'm from Win-Win. We have noticed that the Argentinian fans that are here to watch the matches are the biggest among this World Cup. Do you have the feeling that the fans that are against you tomorrow and rooting for Argentina will be maybe pressing more even onto your players? And what is the worst case scenario for tomorrow as a coach?
Bon, je ne sais pas si la traduction est.
Well, I'm not entirely sure I followed that, but I'm not sure if Argentina has great support. I think that's true in all tournaments. You always have a lot of fans in the stadium. And of course, we'll have French fans in the stadium as well. But yes, it's true that most fans will perhaps support Argentina, maybe because they're Argentinian, but also because they'll be supporting that team. I think there'll be a very festive atmosphere. I think Argentinians are very passionate people, and they support their team as you would expect. But that's a very positive, festive atmosphere. They get behind their team, and I think that's a positive thing. I think it's good to have an atmosphere like that in a World Cup final. But our opponents aren't in the crowd. Our opponents are the team we're facing on the pitch. And they're a good enough team for us to be worrying about them rather than the fans. And of course, both teams have the same objective tomorrow. Only one of the teams will come out with a 3rd star on their shirts after tomorrow's game. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, and good luck for tomorrow.